So welcome guys to another Saturday stream here on Virtual Animation Discord. I'm Goro Fujita. Today I'm gonna work on a windy scenario. So the Quill Weekly challenge for this week is strong winds, and I love painting wind, so I thought might as well freestyle to that. And I'm just gonna cover a lot of little techniques on how quickly you can create like the illusion of wind. So let's get started. I think I'm gonna start with like bringing in sounds. So I have like a wind sound here, and I get my sounds from Envato Elements, by the way. I have a subscription. It's highly recommended if you work a lot with sound. It's actually like pretty like reasonable pricing. So this is like a sound loop that I made. So it's like about this long, but then you can basically loop it. I'm gonna loop it. And the reason why I bring, you guys can hear the storm sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I bring this in is because I can feel out the environment already. Like there's like different types of winds, right? And this wind already gives me kind of a sense that, yeah, it's pretty vast, you know, like I could imagine like, you know, something like a scenario like this here with a lot of like trees waving around and stuff like that. So I oftentimes like to bring in the sound first, the environment sound, if I do something that needs to match a certain mood, right? Like if I do a forest or something, you know, like I'm pretty sure that I can find something matching. But in wind particular, for wind particularly, it's kind of nice to hear it first, to get into this mood, right? To feel it out. Then another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a sky gradient. So let me bring in the dark one that I have as a 360 equirectangular. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to transform and hit reset transform, which brings it to the center. And that will make sure that the horizon line is straight. So then I just grab like either one of the axes. I can also use these axes, but I will just grab the y-axis and then scale it. And this is going to be my background. So in the stream, I actually, unfortunately, I had a blue screen crash, so I lost a little bit of data, and I wasn't able to recover the portion of the video that was unfortunately corrupt. But basically, I wanted to cover quickly what I showed in those last minutes. It's not that much, actually, but there was some important information in there. So I brought in the sky as a PNG, and then the next thing I did was like I was working on the ground. So I used this ellipse brush and created like a pizza slice like this. Then I duplicated, rotated to the other side, and then let them meet at the tip. And then I do duplication here, and then I just duplicate it over time. Not over time, but a repeat duplicate. And the good thing about when you do it with the ellipse brush is because they're like round, you won't get that Z-fighting flicker that you usually get. And now it allows you to really paint like smooth gradients on the outsides without having this flickering, right? So so what I can do now is I select the whole ground here, and then I'm going to scale it out. And then let me see, I wanted to like recede and fog. So at this point, you unfortunately can't pick a color from the PNG, but what you can do is you can just try to eyeball the gray. You can also obviously like bring in another PNG as a 2D image and then pick that color from there, but I'm just quickly gonna do this. And now you see if I turn off the grid that the ground recedes into that PNG, right? So into that sky dome. So this is like how you can imply like fog, right? So this is like a pretty cool way to, you know, do distance fog. And now what I did on top of that is I created a tree, but I'm just gonna show it like quickly. All I did was like I created a new layer, and then created branches, and then I created a few canopies, just like this, and duplicate it around a little bit. And I created the canopy on a separate layer actually, but just doing, so I did something like this, right? And then I separated the stem from the canopy, and then I selected all invisible layers, and then I would do something like this, boom, boom, and boom. So I have 3 trees. And then I started working on the barn, but then I had the blue screen, so this is where I'm gonna pick up the stream again. Just wanted to fill in the gap, bridge the gap that you might have noticed. So hopefully this will make the stream complete, and I'm gonna carry on with the barn. Okay, I tried to recreate the barn really quick. So what is this? This is the arrow. Okay, and then let's start the barn again. So I used like kind of like a red here, and then I did. So it's not gonna be this exact same, but who cares, right? So I'm just gonna try to do it like much quicker than before. I might not be able to talk as much multitasking, right? Like I'm going into like speed mode right now, right? So try not, this part I already explained. Hopefully I can salvage what I said, but let's see how fast I can build this little quick. Okay, so we did this, and then we did the side. You guys can hear me, right? Just checking in.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, then I did this and this. Okay, let me just duplicate this over. Oops, duplicate this over. All right, I'm gonna save just in case. Now I'm going to be super paranoid. My computer has been acting up recently. I think it's just getting old, so it's not like, you know, I had blue screen every now and then. It doesn't happen that often though, so I hope this was just a fluke, but we'll see.
I remember there was a point on my old video card where blue screens almost started happening just regularly, and I was never worried. And then one day, it happened, and then just my screen never came back.
Oh wow.
So it was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, this computer
no.
is like a little bit over 3 years old. It's not that old, you know. It's a Titan XP in there. It's still a powerful card.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but it is acting up. I didn't have that problem before. So okay, so let's see. Let me save here, and then the barn doors. So at this point, I'm gonna already think about coloring. You know, like this actually looks pretty good lighting wise. It already looks like it's lit diffusely. So I'm gonna just make it a little bit darker, and maybe bring in the reds a little bit more. So let me just separate the roofs first. So this is like what Tyler showed last time. You know, sometimes it's good to select the easily selectable stuff first. So this is the roof, so you don't have to like struggle to do the rest. And those are the walls. And let me bring in a little bit more red here. Oops. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so now let's build the doors. It's gonna be probably something like this, maybe a little bit more greens in it. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm just gonna look at the reference and build it a little quick. Free-handed. Boom, and then we can reuse this for the windows up there. And then I'm just gonna bring it in and put it here. So a lot of times, like I draw stuff outside of view, you know, and then I just push it in, and then maybe that's like a good way to keep, like you can, if you know the proportions, you know, you can just scale it to what you need. So it's like a good way to do things. So maybe something like this. This is good, and then move it over to the other side, and maybe this side has only one window. Something like this, and let's give it like let's put this in a folder, I'm sorry if I'm moving my head quite violently, but I'm just trying to catch up and with lost time. I hope it's okay. And then I'm gonna do like a chimney here. Let's do the chimney. Paint it something. Let's make it a little bit brighter, something like this. And then we're gonna do like an edge. And then a lot of times, you know, I just paint one thing once and then I do everything. I just duplicate. So it's like, this is good enough. This is nice. Let's see what else. Oh, they have like this nice little thing, but I think I'm running out of time, so I'm just like adding a little bit more, a few more accents to the barn itself. So I'm just gonna do something like this, even if it's not there. I think it's cool. So some design elements here. Let me make this a little darker. Oh, somebody is not muted.
Oh man.
Sorry, that was me. I'm sitting in a
Hey.
cafe watching this. It's Mike.
Okay.
Oh hey Mike, what's up?
Oh, Mike.
I'm on vacation, but I had to tune in.
I thought you were chiming in from the RV.
Almost. I'm in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Tyler, I might have to come visit you on my way back.
Nice. All right. Let me just do some lighting here. Okay, I think the barn looks pretty good, right? Okay, then I need some grass. So let me work on the grass now. So I call it grass. So for grass, I will have rough grass. That's when you call it rough grass. And we have the detail grass. So I'm gonna start with the detail grass first. So let me do like, maybe I use like this brush here, turn it to auto taper, pick the color on the ground, and then make it a little bit darker and do something like this. This might be good. All right, this is looking good. And then I just duplicate it a few times. Everything good still, right? I hope. No?
I'm actually making eggs, so I can't
Okay.
check right now.
Okay. I hope, like, you guys are pretty quiet, but I hope you're just watching. So what I'm gonna do here is like I'm basically in like suggesting detail, right? Like I'm not gonna go like with the grass like all crazy, you know, and put it everywhere. You know, I just put it in areas where I think it's cool to have. And it's basically, I'm not gonna do too crazy because I want to animate it too. So let me build like a fence too. So this is like the thing about freestyle, you know, like I'm not worried about composition too much yet. Like I'm just figuring it out on the way. White fence, maybe white fence, right?
Is anyone else lagged again? Is anyone's screen stopped?
No, it's
Uh-oh.
fine for me.
Okay.
Oh, you're seeing it actually? Okay. That's a good sign.
Okay. So let's see. We do like a thing like this, and because you know it's a barn, you know it's all handmade. You know I want to make sure that you know I don't need this one, so I want to make sure that it's not perfect. So let's see where we put the fences. Maybe something like this. The fence is like I think too large, but I can change that in a bit. So let me see. Like a lot of times, you know, scale wise, I just check. Probably something like this is good. And then it goes around maybe here. Something like that. It's actually floating. Let me bring it down. And imperfections like this are awesome. You know, they actually add like a lot of like organic fields to it, you know, so I'm just gonna keep it, and maybe we indicate there's like more fencing here in the background. That looks pretty good. Let's see.
Hey, this scene is starting to look a lot like Michigan, where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I'm looking through your eyes right now, dude. Yeah. Okay, I think I don't need the references anymore. You know what? I kind of like some things here. I think this portion is pretty good, like those poles and stuff. I will just like indicate that maybe with this is like wood, so it's like different stuff. So let me do something like this, just adding a little bit of detail here. This is cool. And then indicate something like this little whatever that's called. That
Maybe a clothesline or something with some clothes on it.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. That's a good idea actually. Let me do that. But I want to indicate some sort of, maybe he has a car here or something like that. So it looks pretty cool. This point, and just like randomly add some detail to, yeah, that looks good. And then I do also some shadows, duplicate it, bring it down, and make it a little bit darker. Fight the Z fighting, and this is good. And then maybe some closed lines. That's cool. So maybe let me see where it's a good spot to put it, because there will be a lot of sheep. I actually want a piece of fence here, because there will be like a sheep holding on to it, and he's like almost flying away. I think that's gonna be funny. Something like this. Okay. Let me do some lighting on the fences first before I do the clothesline. Some diffuse lighting. So I bring it over here, bring it up slightly, down slightly, and then I'm gonna just make it a little bit brighter. Just adds a little bit of like cool structure. Yeah, this is good. Okay, the clothesline.
Maybe an umbrella clothesline that comes up, and then you just hang it. Like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I think.
It doesn't have to
do you
hang
have
to a
that in
tree.
your carton? Do you have it in your chalet? In your piece?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You had one. Like it's kind of. I think I like this. I think it's just random, but I think I'm just gonna do like a line like this. It doesn't have to be logical. This is the
It
demo,
seems like
right?
an old barn, so they probably wouldn't have an umbrella one. They probably would just kind of makeshift one.
Yeah, makeshift is good. Okay, let me do the clothesline as a it's like separate, so I can animate it. And then I'm having pants and like underwear here. Let me use this brush. Oops, turn the auto off. So hanging clothes. And I'm gonna let it flap later on. Maybe something white. With sleeves. Yeah, I think that's a little bit big, so make it smaller. Always look at the overall scale, when you work like this, and this looks actually really cool. Okay, so let me do some animation now just to get the feel of it. So I'm gonna turn on the sound again. And then I'm gonna do the rough grass. So for the rough grass, I'm gonna go maybe only 12 frames should be enough. I'm gonna hit loop and then listen to the sound and pick the ground color. And just, the wind is coming from there, so I'm just gonna start drawing with the animation brush, anim brush, just like this, like gusts of wind just blowing through that grass. So this is like the abstract grass. And then listening to that storm sound really helps, right? Maybe here we have a little bit more dense grass, so we can just indicate that this is a little bit denser here. And then it already looks like really cool. So you combine the long strokes with like those small strokes, and then it starts creating an illusion of like grass waving in the wind, which is really cool. And then on the edges of the house, you can do the same thing. Right? And you just indicate that the wind is going like crazy.
It's kind kind of like an ocean of grass.
Yes. Look at that. Right, so it starts like really looking nice, and wherever you have intersections like this, you celebrate this, you know, and you just indicate that there's like, it's like hitting the fence here. And then I'm gonna turn off the storm sound for you guys, but see how now it just doesn't seem the same, right? It seems like it's very quiet, it's peaceful. So that's why I like painting towards the sound, because I can really feel what's going on, and my hand automatically moves like the wind. So I actually need the wind sound again, because I react to it, but while painting, right? And this is like, for me, like the most magical thing, right? That you can actually feel an atmosphere and actually translate the feeling into motion. And I think it's crazy that that's actually possible. And I don't do this all the time, like I said before. I use it most of the times for things like where the sound is really important for the movement you're gonna visualize. And yeah, this is looking good. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna create a new layer and make it maybe like 24 frames, so we have like a good second or something. And let me save just in case I get another blue screen. But call it wind, and those are like the wind particles, right? So let me draw it like this. We're like 40 minutes in right now. Should give us enough time to cover a lot of stuff. I'm gonna make the brush duration short, and I'm just gonna paint like those wind gusts, and maybe you add a little bit of character to it as well, and maybe I make the brush a little bit shorter, and then it just emphasizes the storm, right? I already painted the grass with trees in the background. I'm not thinking about I might move the trees, but that's fine. So, and maybe some of the wind gusts, they follow the roof, something like this. And then I might turn the visibility to like 25% or something, to really just have a like second read on those things. And then let me turn off the sound at this point. I'm going to go back to the trees. And I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do, let me think about this. I think, save. I don't want to redo stuff, so I'm just thinking about like what I do. Yeah, I think I'm going to separate the trees. So I think 3 trees are enough. So I like this one. So I'm just gonna separate this. I'm gonna separate this guy. And then I'm going to separate this guy as well. So these are the canopies. Let me think. I might just use 1 tree or 2 trees just to save time. Yeah, maybe I do that. So I'm just going to select this tree, delete it, delete this one. And this is usually what happens when I freestyle, you know, like I rethink things, redo things. You guys can still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, it's so quiet.
Yeah.
It's like freaky quiet. Okay, let me select the tree and then duplicate. No, I think that's fine. I think that is fine. Let me just think what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna separate the tree trunk, so we have 1 tree here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it like this, just because that will speed up the process. So what I'm gonna do is like I create new folders, and then I'm gonna merge them eventually, but I'm going to use these 2 trees to distribute it in a way that I want. So now I can just move the tree to design the scene, right? So let's see. So let me put 1 here. but I'm not going to duplicate it quite yet. So now I'm going to animate. So for the tree, I'm only going to animate the canopy first. So let's do like 12 frames is usually enough for like a good stormy looking canopy. And I do the same thing here, 12 frames. And loop it, right? And then I'm going to turn on the sound again, and then just use the nudge tool and do like an initial layer of wiggle. So this is already like looking really cool, but I also want the whole thing to wiggle. The whole tree to like lean, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm use the grab tool, make it like really large, and add a little bit of overall wiggle to it. Yeah, this looks cool. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna merge it with the bottom layer, right? And then I add like a overall wiggle to it. So now we have the tree wiggling. I do the same thing here. Make sure you merge the animation layer with the still layer, and then you can do this. And then it's just like, just ever so slightly, but it will look really cool. Okay, so now what I can do is I can bring them into the same, I'm gonna delete this, and I'm going to distribute more trees, right? And then I can change them later in terms of, can change the offset of the animation so it doesn't look like the same thing. So I'm gonna also grab this guy and maybe put him in the back. And now what I'm gonna do with this guy, I'm gonna select the all frames over time, so it's only 12 frames. Then I stop the animation, pick this background color, and now I'm gonna colorize the tree with the background color. And then it looks like it's foggy, right? So I stop the animation so I don't get the flicker when I colorize over time, right? So this way I can actually colorize everything equally. So let me do this. And this is looking really cool already, right? This is super cool. All right, so
Very nice.
let me do this, like just to spread it out a little bit. And maybe this one is a little bit further away. So maybe this one, we do the same trick, stop the animation, pick the color, and then let it go into the background. So this is looking really cool. So what I'm gonna do now is like, these are like a lot of draw calls now, right? And I probably want to only show, there will be sheep here hanging out, right? And then I will probably, this is going to be my main angle. I won't put any trees here. So I think at this point I'm gonna merge the trees. But before I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim them at different points in time from the left, basically. And then I leave the top one the same. So what happens now is like they all offset differently. So it looks like a different type of tree just because it offsets differently, right? And at this point, I can just merge them all. Let me save before I do this. But I merged them all down. I can probably just merge down the folder. Let me see. Yeah. And then I have one folder with 186,000 polygons. In this case, I can just go and say optimize current layer. I didn't see a difference, so this looks good. And like you can make it like really small, you know. Now it's like much more economic size. And then on top of that, you can still use the grab tool and then add a little bit of variation to it if you want to each tree. So now you already have like a really cool environment, windy environment. So this is pretty cool. So let's get to the characters because I'm like in 12 minutes. I have 12 minutes left. I probably go over a little bit, but let me work on the character now. So we're gonna do, let me go to the straight line tool, you know, and then we're gonna do like a generic sheep. that we use for everything, for a bunch of sheep, basically. So let me just use the grab tool here. And then for the body, let me do something like this. I should be looking at reference, but I don't have time for this. I don't have time for reference, so
It looks pretty sheepish.
it
Looks good.
Yeah,
looks cute.
so let's make him a fluffy ball, just like this. And then I might do.
We need the big eyeballs for sure.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna have cartoon eyes, you know, similar to the Wallace and Gromit sheeps for sure. And let me just sculpt it a little bit.
Have a sheep sound going, will you?
Yeah, I have sheep sounds, so I downloaded sheep sounds in advance. So maybe we do like this, something like this. Maybe the legs are shorter. And then, do they have a tail? They do, right? It's kind of like a cluster of things, something like this. And then I'm gonna do
I
some.
think their legs are almost hidden. Maybe I'm not even sure.
Oh
Their legs are
yeah,
almost,
yeah, you're
aren't
right.
they?
You're right. I think they're almost. That looks good enough. Let's push the legs in. Maybe I just need one joint, really. Just remove these, and then. Yeah, that's cuter. Okay, so then I do
Hilarious.
this, and then I add a little bit of lighting here as well. It's too much. Something like this. Okay, this is good enough. And then I'm going to add eyes. So I tend to use the line tool and I just tap it once. And then what I can do is like I can add like a gradient, which is like kind of nice, you know. Just know the direction of the stroke, and then you can actually add a gradient. So this is like the eyeball here. Woo!
Oh, he's so scared.
Instant humor.
I think he needs some lower eyelids, right? Because they're like panicking. So I think I do the Danielle technique here. Let me see where the hard edge is, the wide edge. I think this is the wide edge. I can't see. Yes. Oops. And then I'm just gonna move this out. This is good.
Also, I think floating eyebrows don't have those. I'm pretty sure.
Floating eyebrows would be nice too. Yeah, let me do that. I'm not trying to do Wallace and Gromit, but
It is what it is.
so let me see what I can do here.
You said it.
Yeah, just doing like. I'm gonna dismiss the eyebrows for this one, but this is good enough. Maybe he has some fur on top as well. No, I think naked is fine. I think this looks actually pretty cool. All right, so we have a bunch of sheep. So we have a sheep layer. So this is the sheep layer. And then let's do one like about this size. And duplicate, and I want one hanging onto this thing. Maybe he needs longer arms for that. And just it's like hanging onto this with straight arms. And then he's like, "Wow, I'm flying! Wow!" So I'm gonna pose him. So he's like,
Awesome.
This is amazing.
so maybe he's a bit crazy. Wow. Oh shit, I'm flying away. Like, oh, Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we have this guy, and maybe we have a bunch of sheep. They're like cuddled together. And let me just
Goro,
keep one there.
your homemade sound effects give me an idea for a weekly prompt of you can do whatever you want. It just has to have lots of sound effects made by your mouth.
Made by your mouth. That's actually really cool. That's funny. So let's see. And then this guy could be like, oh shit, you know, like, oh, sound effects. He's like trying to fight it. Something like this. Let me just duplicate this. Yeah. Okay. And then this guy too. Maybe he's like a little bit angry at the weather. So let's try to make him angry. You're like, what the fuck? What's happening? Yeah. It's cool. And he's just, huh? What is going on? I don't understand. Whoa. All right. So this is cool. And then maybe this guy is just flying around in circles. That might be fun. So maybe like he has like two different.
I feel like there should be a bunch just like blown to the side of the barn. They're just like stuck to the wall.
Oh,
of the
that's
barn.
awesome. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. It's like, that's an amazing idea. Thank you. So it's like,
They're just big cotton balls stuck to the wall.
It's like, oh, this is awesome. And then it's like, oh shit. Ah, help. No. Oh, it froze for a bit. I got a heart attack. Man.
Oh yeah, those reminders to save.
Yeah, totally.
the scary freezes.
Let me remove this. This looks a little bit offensive here. So. It's like, oh. Maybe the ears are flat against the wall too. Oh. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I think
I think their fur would be animating probably right and left or whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna be going crazy. I think I can actually use, except this guy. This guy I have to separate, but the rest I think I can keep on one layer. This is flying. And he's like, that looks pretty awesome. But I think we need one more sheep. I think I want one more like hanging somewhere. Doesn't make sense, but I think it's funny.
Off of a tree.
This is gonna be funny. Okay, so actually these guys need to be on a separate layer too, because they're gonna be a longer cycle. So these are the flying ones, and because of the bounding boxes, I'm gonna separate them both. So flying, holding on, holding one.
Maybe with the clothesline, maybe they're holding on to the clothesline broke off, and they're all like holding on like this line of the coast.
Yeah, actually,
there's like a chain of them.
Oh yeah, that would be funny actually. Man, you have good ideas. What do I do?
Too many good ideas.
Too many good ideas. Let me do this real quick. How do I do this? I can
Speed
try.
run.
Yeah, I can try something. So let me grab this holding this guy. Maybe there's another line here. Then maybe we can do something like this. Where they're holding on to a line.
Yeah, maybe they're a rope or something that
exactly.
was attached to the fans.
Exactly. And then I just grab to that whole section. That's such a nerdy thing to say. Right? I just grab to that shit. I just grab to it. Okay. Oh, I removed his head. Decapitated my sheep.
And little baby one at the end.
Maybe might have a bigger head. Okay. I think this is good enough for a setup, and this is the rope. Let me start with regular sheep, and then let me bring in some sheep sounds. So I think sheep 1. Okay. Pretty good. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. These guys. So, I think this is like 1 bounding box. This is good enough. I'm going to just make a 12 frame cycle. Cycle it. And then nudge tool the crap out of it.
Those are some really strong sheep that are able to withstand the wind right there.
I just imagine this being like a nightmare where when you're jumping over the fence, this is like what would happen as a nightmare.
So I'm gonna use the grab tool for the ears and go like crazy like this. Boom. Yeah, and then maybe some grab tool of the fur as well. And what I like doing also for these things is like I just pick this color here and then just animate some anim brush on top, even here, and it looks like some motion blur or something, you know. It's like and then it just breaks up the loop just enough, makes it look really cool. It's really nice. Okay, so we have these guys on the wall. Whoa.
He's like looking at his friend. How are we gonna
That's
get
a good
down,
idea.
man?
Excellent. Let me try to get him here. I'm just trying to select the overtime. Just nice. Okay, so shaking. Okay, so ears going crazy. I actually believe now that the sheep are making that noise. It's funny. It's so realistic now. I'm totally immersed in the scene right now. It's like so awesome. I'm gonna save this, and then I'm gonna do the flying guy before I forget. So let me do. I'm gonna do like a little tricky rig here. So I'm going to nest it a bunch of times. And then I'm going to animate rotation, and then I'm gonna change this to 8. Right, Tyler? Just use it so you can animate quicker.
You know it.
Yeah, and then I might do something like this, where I do like 1, 2, reverse rotation maybe. So I go to 1, 2 to record. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, and then let's see how many seconds. I want probably like maybe 5 seconds is actually good. So let me bring this all closer together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 seconds is, I think, good actually. I went way too long. So let me do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something here. I'm gonna loop the sequence at this 5-second mark, and then let's see what this looks like in linear curves. It's too slow. So let me bring this all closer. Maybe this. Let's see if this works. Oops. I wanted to loop this. That's better, I think. So I think it can be a little bit faster still. So we're out of time now. We're 4 minutes over, but because we lost some time, you know, let me just finish this up. It shouldn't take that long. I'm almost done, I think, anyhow. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm going to do like an up and down movement. So let me do this, boom, and then move it up and down, up, and maybe this one is down. So now we get like, and this is not linear.
Nice.
I want this one to be spline curves. So we have this.
Oh, look at him go!
Make his little feet.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So basically what I'm gonna do is like now I'm going to ungroup this. I go to frame 0, I ungroup it, and I go all the way up, and then I create a loop. Because this loop is, let me make it exactly 2 seconds actually. Oh, or maybe let me go here at 3 seconds, because then I can make sure that the loop is 12 frames long, and it will share the it will be divisible, so that way I make sure that the loop will be not broken. So I'm gonna go to the first frame here, and then make a 12 frame cycle, 12 frames, loop it, and then I'm gonna do like No, I think I'm gonna use nudge for the rest. Yeah. Okay, so I rewind and regroup it, put it into the group, and now he's like flying around like this. And to add to this rotation, we might want to create another folder in there and actually reset, and then add like a little rotation within. So let me turn this on. Oops. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Move it to the end, and then make that linear. And now there's like another rotation inside, so it looks like really. Oh, there's a jump. There's a little. I think I might have done it wrong. So let me go all. Let me see. Okay, that looks good. So let me do that again. So keyframe here, and then I go forward. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. So this should actually not jump. Let me see. This should totally be a seamless loop. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we have this. Let me turn off the. Where's my reference? So I don't need the reference anymore. So I have to work on the other sheep now. And let me. The clothesline is still not looping. So let me make sure that I'm gonna do the clothesline before I forget, because that's probably something I'm gonna forget.
The ropes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I do them last. So these are the clothes, and then I make them something like this, and then nice. Okay, see how fast you can do this stuff? This is like unbelievable. I love this. It's so intuitive. Okay, now we have the holding one. Where's this guy? Okay, let me put him on. Let me do like a 12 frame cycle first. So sometimes I do it in stages. So I do like a 12 frame cycle first, and I just do the wiggle first because it's like easier to do it that way. And then maybe he's like shaking a little bit, and then I do the ears, wow, and maybe the tail, and maybe the legs. Yeah, okay. And now what I'm gonna do is I make it like 2 seconds long maybe. So what I'm gonna do is like create a new layer and make it like 48. I think 1 second is actually enough, I think. Let's do it in 2 seconds because then I can add some variation to it. So 48 frames is 2 seconds. Oops, there's like, let me remove the hold frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 48 frames. See, the loop point is like aligned. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna merge it with the layer underneath. And now the loop is actually 48 frames long. And now what I can do is grab the sheep. So this is pretty cool, but it needs to be faster in this one. It's like, wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. There we go. It's pretty cool. Okay, there's like a little jump. Let me try to make it better. Nice. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let me do the holding 2, this guy, and do the same thing. I'm gonna start with a 12 frame cycle, hit loop, and then I'm going to do something like this. Oops. Yeah, this is good. And then for him, I will probably just do a 24 frame cycle. So 24 is enough. Loop and move, merge, and then wow! Nice. Okay, so he's like flying above there, and then the last thing that I'm gonna do is the rope. We're only 11 minutes over. Okay, the rope. The rope, I will do the same. So I'm gonna start with 6, or no, 12. And you know what? I just remembered I have to do the grass. So let me do the grass first because I'm gonna forget otherwise. So for the grass, I'm gonna do also just a 12 frame cycle. Hit play, and then I do the same thing here. It's pretty cool. What I can do now is I can just select it over time and put it where I need it.
I feel like those sheep should be trying to get to something. Like maybe there's something in the distance that they're trying to get after, and that's why they're standing out there.
Or yeah, maybe there's like food.
Some food or water.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Let me see if we have
Stop
time
the
left.
wind button.
Oh yeah, that's nice. like a simulation button, right? Like that would be cool. So, yeah, if I have time, I will do something. So let me also work on the barn a little bit. The roof. Maybe we can just animate the roof a little bit. Maybe 6 frames is enough for this one, and then loop it, and then maybe there's some.
Just have some shingles flying off.
You know, like just a little bit of.
Yeah, Jimmy the Shingles.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then shingles flying off. It's too much. I think I go on to the wind layer. And then the wind layer is transparent. So okay, let me go to a new layer and create maybe 48 frames. So I have a little bit of variation here. And then loop it. Can you actually hear my voice when the sound is loud? Is it fine? Because I prefer it with sound because it's fun. It's fun, but
I can hear it.
It's a little harder, but we can hear you.
Okay. So let me drop some shingles. good, and maybe some leaves as well. So maybe there's some. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so we have this. Then let's get to the ropes then. You know what I can do? I can bring in the where's the wind sound? I can just bring it down a little. This is probably better now, right? So, and then sheep. I'm gonna bring the sheep down too. Okay. All right, so let's go to the rope. So we have a 6-frame cycle here, 12-frame cycle. I'm gonna do the same thing here. It's hard to hold on to this thing. Like that.
That guy's gotta be whipped around the most.
Yeah.
That little baby one.
So I don't think I can do the Daniel rule here. You know, we'll see if I can do it in one go. Let me optimize it. Yeah, S curve. Let me see if I can do this. Where's the? Oh, it's not the grab tool. I was like wondering. So let me. Oh, I have to make it longer. So the rope, it's going to be 1 second, I think, or 2 seconds. Yeah, let's try 2 seconds. 2 seconds might be a little bit long, but we'll see. 48 frames. And merge down. Merge down and loop. Save at this point. Not bad. It actually works quite well. Yes.
Bro, to lengthen that 48, did you just create an empty layer with 48 and then merge it down?
Correct, yeah. My arm is like too jittery, damn it. Okay, let me see. Wow! Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, I think... What were you saying? I think, Sam, you wanted that there's something they're trying to get to. Oh yeah, the button of doom. Tyler's button of doom.
I like the button of... Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, so this
it's
is
just all a virtual simulation.
Yeah. So let's call it...
That the farmer had to set up for them.
Oh, the farmer! I forgot the farmer! Damn it! But it's fine. The farmer is doing the experiment. So,
he's behind a glass, looking at it.
Yeah. So let's do this little quick. Now Tyler is hating this.
Oh,
the imperfection.
See, I like making things precise, but there's also like there is a charm about making it imprecise.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like yeah. If I would do it seriously, I would probably be more precise as well. But you know, it's not. I'm not showing that. You know, I'm just showing like how I would approach this type of narrative. You know, so you cover the cleanness. I cover something else.
Something else.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see that when you did, Tyler. I missed it last week. I was on the road.
Yeah, it was fun. My voice is doubled over, but
oh, it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's
bummer.
super faint. It's super faint, but it's got like the most subtle like echo of like a millisecond.
Oh man, audio issues.
Okay, I think this is it, guys. So let me turn off that arrow. Where's this arrow? So I'm just gonna turn on select all to find that layer. So this one, I'm gonna delete this and I'm gonna hide the sounds. And look at that. So this is like strong winds.
That
I
is so
think
cool.
I don't have time for creating a wind vane or something, but I think I'm gonna upload this as is so you guys can check it out on VR. But look at that, like I'm gonna put a bunch of spawn areas into different sections. Look at this guy. He's like, oh shit! And we have
This
the.
would be
This is
really
the
funny
end.
to do camera shots on their faces and stuff with.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do like a trailer, right? So I would like
Exactly,
record a
exactly.
video here, and then you get like really good angles, you know. Look at that. Ah! Whoa!
Oh my god.
This is gonna be so
That is
awesome.
awesome.
And, ah!
What did we sign up for?
And they're like, oh shit!
One of them has to have all of its hair sheared off.
So yeah, so this is how I this was like a little bit about an hour I think with all the stuff and technical issues that we had, but you know, this is how I love like building like let me turn off the sound for now. Love how I put in the sound and then I feel it out first, because now you can see that it doesn't feel the same, right, without the sound. But if you have the sound on, it really feels like you're inside and you're building towards the sound, and there's some magical stuff about that. And look at this guy like just flying around, you know, he's in a vortex, caught in a vortex. But yeah, it's like super fun to do something like that. Was a super fun freestyle session. Thanks for the suggestions, guys. Like that's what I love about, you know, those interactive freestyle sessions. Just react to the ideas that you bring and stuff. Yep.
The only thing is the rope, the point where the rope starts, where
Yes.
it starts to animate, it kind of needs to be moved where the start of the rope is.
Yeah.
If you know if you can see what I mean. That was probably the
Gosh,
sphere.
Sam. Let
Sam,
me
you're
fix
banned.
it for you. Let
Get
me
out.
fix it for you. There you
Who's
go.
bugging me too?
Ooh, you might have to redo it though.
Oh, it's good enough. You know, it's good enough. Come on, it's like a speed paint.
Work, work.
But it looks better now than before, for sure. I mean, I can also go frame by frame and fix it, right? That's the thing. Like, you're not always like tied to like doing everything with a grab tool. You can just go frame by frame and make sure like whenever there's like a little hiccup, you can just fix it frame by frame. Any questions, guys?
Hey Goro, what you're doing right here? You're just advancing a frame and using the grab tool,
Yeah, I do that actually a lot.
like
You know?
running.
Yeah, just to check, like for example, see like this jump might be too hardcore, so I might be adjusting it
right.
like this, you know.
Idea.
And then I just go through the animation, and then oh, this looks all good. Maybe this one can
Nice.
move a little bit like this, you know. So you can just adjust the spacing. Yeah, this one you might want to bring closer first, and then.
Actually, this is a good example of fixing something this way.
Yeah. So now there's still a hiccup here, but you know, like you can just fix it like this, and then it doesn't look as bad anymore, you know. Yeah,
Makes it feel a little bit organic too.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Nah, I'm just breaking it. But yeah, so this is it, I think. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna stop the recording now. This is strong winds, guys. Let me turn on the sound one more time. Yeah, and I'm gonna turn up the sound, the volume actually. I didn't do spatial audio for this one, but I think it's fine. You get the idea, you know, like I covered spatial audio in a different stream before, but basically this is my strong wind submission. I think I leave it as is and then just see if it's like, see, it's actually well within the boundaries still. So perfect, I don't even have to optimize it. So you're gonna see this in VR soon, and I'm gonna make sure to upload the replay video as well. And thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna stop recording now.